Last meeting, we heard two brilliant seminarians, Marcelo Tagaytay and Kenneth Jan Mofan. I'd like to congratulate you for your interesting presentation. And because of your very good report, we heard four brilliant minds to help us understand, is faith compatible with reason? Would you like to bet whose thoughts is compatible to our understanding? Blaise Pascal, a French mathematician, used Wager as an argument for the existence of God. Reason by itself cannot provide answer, does God exist? And yet we know that either God exists or God does not exist. Blaise Pascal looks at this as a gamble. So he conceives of this as a game. If we cannot prove using reason that God exists, we should go for a safer option where there is much to gain than to loss. You can bet on God or against God. If we choose to believe in God and He does exist, there is much to gain. More than our mass attendance and offerings, we get an infinite reward, our infinite happiness. But if we choose to believe and God does not exist, we lost nothing. We still win because we have lived a life that is morally upright. But if we bet there is no God and live our life on our bet, the lack of moral restraint, indulge in pleasures, live in lust, greed, and in sin, and we find out in the end that there really is a God, we actually lost everything. We gain nothing if we do not believe, but we gain everything if we believe. If we cannot prove or disprove that God exists, let us think like a gambler. We better bet on the winning team. William James, an American psychologist's famous paper, Will to Believe, claims there are situations where we can't believe without sufficient evidence. These situations must fit certain criteria. They must be situations that cannot be decided, have two live options, are forced and momentous. To illustrate, William James introduces the shy dater. Who are the shy daters? They are the ones who have entered the seminary because they cannot go out for a date. Now, the shy dater has a date and overthinks and fears rejection. He forms a belief, even unfounded, that the date will be bad and avoids it. But if he manages his fears and decides to believe his date will work out fine, then he has a lot to gain. William Clifford argues, if you follow that line of thought, it is immoral. We have two duties: search for truth and avoid error. In order to avoid error, we seek out truth, and truth is achieved because of evidence. So unless we have 100% evidence, we do not believe, because it is a violation of our second duty, which is to stay away from error. Soren Kierkegaard, the father of existentialism, tells us God is beyond reason or proof. It takes a leap of faith to believe in God. He presents three stages of individual existence. Aesthetic stage. In this stage, pleasure is the goal. We seek pleasure above all else. This is the most immature stage. We enter the mind and actions of a child, where choices will be based on our personal pleasure. Ethical stage. In this stage, we now choose duty over pleasure. Here, we take responsibility. We're committed to our duties. We accomplish our work dutifully. We are more other-oriented and not anymore self-centered. And the idea of sacrifice is introduced. And religious stage, the highest form of existence. It is only faith that gives meaningful existence. Like Abraham, I make a choice in favor of faith in God. Even if I do not know what is beyond me, I take a leap of faith. As a seminarian, what stage am I now? In my relationship with God, what stage am I now? What are my goals? And what will give meaning and fulfillment in my life? When I will become a priest, will it be pleasure, duty, or God? Now make your bet.